Okay, so here's our learning intention for today. We are learning to use a variety of strategies to engage the reader. I know I can be successful at this if I can think about my writing and choose an appropriate text, such as informative, imaginary, or persuasive. I'm going to highlight the word persuasive because that's what we're going to be focusing on today. I can use different sentence types, I can use interesting words, and I can read and edit my writing so that my reader knows my message. Okay, so I've got an anchor chart to tell me what a persuasive text is. And a persuasive text is a text that argues a point of view to convince the reader to agree with the author. So for today, I'm going to write a persuasive text about a toy and why you should buy the toy that I'm choosing. Now, I need to come up with reasons why you should buy this toy. And if I look here in the opening statement, it says introduce your point of view. Then in the yellow, it says arguments. And that's where I'm going to list 3 reasons to convince you to buy the toy that I'm telling you to buy. And then in the blue, it summarizes your arguments and you repeat your point of view. So it's saying that these are the reasons why you should choose my toy. The toy I've chosen for my persuasive text is a Rubik's Cube. So you might have seen them before, and it's a puzzle and it's very tricky, but I think they're one of the best toys to have. So in my table below, I need to brainstorm ideas into these boxes, and it's got reasons 1, second reason, and third reason. So these are going to be the reasons that I'm going to write in my persuasive text to convince you that my toy is the one you should have. So the first reason why I think Rubik's Cubes are the best is that it improves your patience, meaning it improves your skill of hard work and actually trying really hard and not quitting. Okay, so it improves your patience. And in brackets, I'm going to say not give up. Or not giving up. My second reason why it's good is that, like I said before, it improves your problem solving skills. Yes, it's a puzzle, so if you can solve this, you should be able to solve lots of other puzzles. And finally, my last reason, which can be not just for puzzles, not just for the Rubik's Cube, but it can also be done for sport as well. And it improves your reflexes. So here are my 3 reasons why Rubik's Cubes are amazing and that you should get it. And that I'm going to use these 3 reasons for when I write my persuasive text. Okay, so here's my opening statement. My title of my text is Why You Should Buy a Rubik's Cube, and I've used an exclamation mark to emphasize and to highlight to the reader that they should do it. Now, if I have a look at the anchor chart about the modality words, I'm going to highlight them. Should is one of those words that really hook the reader to say that you should have it, that you need to have it. Now, if I look at my paragraph, Rubik's Cubes have been around for 47 years. It is one of the best toys you can and should buy. Let me explain why. So in my statement, I've introduced my topic, which is Rubik's Cubes, and that you should get it. And then in my last sentence where it said, let me explain why, it's going to lead quite nicely into my reasons why you should buy a Rubik's Cube. Okay, so in my first paragraph, this is where I introduced my first reason, which if I go back to my brainstorm, it is to say that it improves patience. So, I need to make sure that I use interesting words. I use my first reason, which is to increase patience, and to make sure that I can use some words in my modality anchor chart. Let's give it a go. Let's read our first paragraph to make sure that it makes sense and edit if I need to. It is definitely one of the most difficult puzzles to solve and at times can take hours to complete. Wonderful. I've got a capital letter at the beginning of my sentence, a full stop at the end, and my writing's neat so that my reader can read my writing. Okay, then my next sentence is where I'm going to put in increases patience and improves it. Okay, let's have a go at reading my writing. Working on a Rubik's Cube increases and improves patience, which leads to a great sense of accomplishment. Now, accomplishment means that you feel proud that you were able to solve this problem. But if I go back to my success criteria, it says I need to reread and edit my writing, and I noticed that I didn't have certain letters at the end of my words, or I've put letters at the end of my words, which made my message not make sense. So let's have a go at rereading this. Working on a Rubik's Cube, increase and improves. Now that doesn't make sense. I need to make sure that I have an S at the end of the word increases so that it makes sense to my reader. And improves patience. Ooh. Now this is where I put an S at the end where it doesn't need to. So I'm just going to rub that out. Okay, let's read it again just to make sure it makes sense now. Working on a Rubik's Cube increases and improves patience, which leads to a great sense of accomplishment. Now that makes sense and it sounds better. Now I can start my second paragraph. Okay, so you would have written your other two paragraphs with your two reasons. Next, I'm going to write a concluding statement, and that's going to sum up my point, which is that you should buy a Rubik's Cube and really try and convince my reader that it is one of the best toys around. So Rubik's Cube teaches us lots of different skills, but not only that, it's a lot of fun for everyone and doesn't need any batteries to work. And it's one of the best toys around and should be in everybody's toy box. Okay, so I'm going to start off my sentence saying the Rubik's Cube teaches us lots of skills. But I want to say that it's a lot of fun for everyone, and because it's a toy, it doesn't need any batteries to work, so you can get started on it straight away. But it is. So I'm making sure and rereading my writing so that it makes sense. Now, this is where I'm going to say that it's one of the best toys and it should be in everyone's toy box, because with my persuasive text, that's what I want to do. I want to persuade you, convince you that you should buy the Rubik's Cube. Okay, so going back to my success criteria, I need to reread my writing and edit if I need to. So let's see if my concluding paragraph makes sense. The Rubik's Cube teaches us a lot of skills, but it also... Let's try that again. The Rubik's Cube teaches us a lot of skills, but it is also a lot of fun for everyone, and it doesn't need any batteries to work. It is one of the best toys around today and should be in every kid's toy box. Great. So it does make sense, and I need to check, and every writer needs to check their writing to make sure that the reader knows their message. I have used high modality words, which really convince my reader what I'm trying to tell them to think or do, which is to buy the toy. And I need to make sure that I've used lots of different sentence starters, which I have, and interesting words. Can't wait to read your persuasive text on what toy you think I should buy. Have fun.